Howdy, y'all. This is the patriotic Christian Cowboy coming at you again. Well, this morning I want to talk to you about something that's been on my mind lately. You know, there's a lot of controversy about something that I don't think should be controversial at all. But it's been tossed around in Christian circles for, well, probably pretty near as long as there have been Christians. And, well, I guess the best way to proceed is to start off with looking at 1 Corinthians chapter 1. And we're going to start with verse 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but to us who are saved it is the power of God. Verse 19 goes on to say, for it's written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing understanding of the prudent. Verse 20 says, where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of the word? Has not God made foolishness? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of this world? For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. I'm going to go back and give you that again, because that's real important. For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. You see, there's godly wisdom, and then there's what people think is wisdom. There is a difference, folks. And that difference can make all the difference in the world. It pleased God, and we're continuing here, it pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. For the Jews require a sign. They were coming to him and saying, show us a sign that you are the Messiah. And the Greeks seek after wisdom. That is, worldly wisdom. And, well, quite honestly, folks, that worldly wisdom, it won't get you anywhere. I'll give you an example of that. In the book of Leviticus, it says that the life is in the blood. Now, at one point in time, people believed that diseases were caused by bad blood. So they did this thing called bloodletting. Now, bloodletting is what killed George Washington. He got sick. They thought it was because he had bad blood, so they was going to drain off some of that blood. Lo and behold, George Washington was a hemophiliac, so he bled to death. Now, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. For you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. You see, Christianity is something that the rich folks, they don't grasp. I mean, a lot of them have a form of godliness, but deny the power thereof. For example, there are those like, well, let me think of a good example here. I can't think of a good example right off. But there's folks that thinks that because they've got this, that, or the other thing, that makes them better than somebody else. And they think they've got it on their own. Folks, anything you've got because God gave you the ability to get it. But God has not chosen the foolish things. The things of this world that are considered foolish. But God has chosen the foolish things. The things of this world that are considered foolish to confound the wise. And God has chosen the weak things of this world to confuse the mighty. Now, you know, a lot of y'all know that when I do these little talks, I put things in just plain simple language. I try to make it easy to understand so that anybody can get it. But some of you know me enough to know that I also have a doctorate in ministries. Yes, folks, I can teach at a college level, but I don't. I can make myself sound just as highfalutin as any other person with a doctorate. But now I'm going to tell y'all that as Christians, we need to become cross-eyed. That don't mean to take your right eye and look over to the left and take your left eye and look over to the right. No, sir. You see, we need to have a God's eye view of the cross. If we don't, well, quite frankly, Satan wins. Because the world holds the cross in open shame. And, well, for example, there's a certain no talent. I think she calls herself a singer, who used to come out on stage dressed like a harlot and wearing crosses around her neck and all that kind of stuff. She openly displays herself as a trollop. And then also, there was a recent piece of so-called art, which was nothing but a mason jar full of urine with a cross dropped down into it. So, where am I going with this, you may be wondering right about now? Just this. Jesus said we're to take up our cross and follow him daily. To me, that means that if you are going to wear a cross as a symbol of your faith, you should conduct yourself in such a way that you'll bring honor to the cross. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, I do wear a cross. Now, there is some controversy about whether Jesus was crucified on a cross like the one I just showed, or on just a stake with his hands nailed up above his head, or an X-shaped cross like the St. Andrew's cross. You can look that up yourselves later. But I do wear a cross around my neck. And I have one on my keychain, because it reminds me of the price that was paid for my redemption. Well, Abraham Lincoln is best remembered for freeing the slaves. But that's a whole subject for a whole nother day. But he's memorialized for it. Jesus freed all mankind by going to the cross. Think about that. And you may never look at the cross the same way again. You know, the next time you see someone who's wearing a cross and not living it, I'm going to make you a suggestion. Don't get all holier now and like you're better than they are. But go up to them and just gently remind them of a slogan that came out of years back. What would Jesus do? Well, I'm going to give you a little better slogan than that. Do what Jesus did. Approach the person in love. Share your testimony with them. In fact, how many of you have shared your testimony with somebody lately? That's what I thought. Some of y'all need to get serious. Work on sharing your testimony more than sharing your political views, more than sharing recipes. In fact, I want to challenge each one of you today to go out and share your testimony with someone who needs to know the Lord. My voice is getting a little worn down, so I guess we're going to wrap this one up. This is the PC Cowboy. That's the Patriotic Christian Cowboy. We're signing off. Yeah!